Good afternoon to everybody in the Auchmuty High School community, and just a very quick update to pull together a range of things that have been put online this week in terms of information for parents. Now, the first one to remind you of is that there's now an SQA briefing video which simply takes you through what will happen next term in terms of the SQA procedures that will ultimately lead to these provisional grades at the end of next term. So please watch that if you have a young person in S4 to S6 who will be undergoing SQA certification this year. Okay. Secondly, there's a couple of videos on the back to school arrangements for next week. There's one for S1 to S3 and there's one that's S4 to S6, and these simply make you aware of what will be happening next week and how we will be organising these back to school days. So every year group will get 2 of those days in the last 2 weeks of term. Again, watch the videos, get full information from those. Now, we've been asked by a number of parents, should there be school uniform next week? Should their children wear school uniform? And as a school, we always support school uniform. And I think that as next week, this is the start of us coming back to school properly, we would fully encourage school uniform to be worn. However, we're also aware that we can see the difference in height and size of many of our pupils since we saw them last, and I have no doubt that many of them will simply have outgrown their school uniform. So whereas we encourage school uniform, we are sympathetic to the fact that some children may simply not have a school uniform that fits. So if you can put your child into school uniform and encourage them to do so, yes, by all means, but please don't worry about it, and we understand that some children will not have school uniform because of these growing issues, which they do as teenagers. It'd be great if after the holidays, when we start back at Easter, that more children at that point can have school uniform, but again, it's difficult under the current conditions to get school uniform and so on. So we just have to encourage, but be sympathetic to the fact that there may be difficulties. Now, another announcement that was made yesterday, just to give you a very quick update, was that COVID testing is now expected to be extended down to the S1 to S3 year groups. And at the moment, all seniors from S4 to S6 can pick up the COVID testing kits, test twice a week, and make sure that they're clear of COVID. Even if they're asymptomatic, it will pick it up. This is to be extended to S1 to S3, but at the moment we're awaiting the guidelines on this as to how that's going to be delivered. But we do expect that come the beginning of term on the 12th of April, that testing will be available for all pupils from S1 to S6. Now finally, just a very quick reminder that those coming into school, either for SQA days or indeed for back to school days next week, etc., there will be masks being worn in school all week. We will be doing hand washing, the one-way system will be in operation, and of course we are maintaining strict 2-metre social distancing. I would also like to remind you that there is social distancing on the buses of 1 metre, and masks must be worn on the buses as well. So just to remind your children that it's not just when they get to school that they put on their mask. If they're getting a bus to school, they need a mask there, and to keep to that 1 metre social distancing on the buses and 2 metre social distancing within the school. So I hope you're able to catch up with all the videos that we've made and so on. And please contact your child's guidance teacher if you have any concerns, worries or issues about all of the information that's being issued at the current time. And can I just finish by saying that once we get through these couple of weeks to come, we are really looking forward to having a full start back after Easter holidays. We will have masking, hand washing, sanitising and the one-way system in place, but at that point we believe that social distancing then will have ceased and it will feel a much normal school environment to be within, and we're really working towards that. So thank you for listening once again, and happy watching of the videos. Thank you, bye just now. Good morning, and can I welcome everybody in the Auchmuty High School community to a brief video update for this week. There's a couple of things that I didn't mention in my original video which I should have covered this week. Now the first one is a very simple message. It's simply to draw your attention to the fact that when the children come back to school next week, which we're very much looking forward to, different year groups on different days, we will be providing quite a wide range of provision. On the home learning platform, the in-school provision, the SQA work has to go on, and we have the hub children who are coming in on a daily basis as well. And we will do everything we can to keep all the different plates spinning. But it's just to make you aware that that is quite a wide range of provision. And it may be that, for example, the home learning isn't quite as robust a platform as normal, and that you may notice that there is a difference. If that happens, please just bear in mind that it is a little bit different for the next couple of weeks, and we're just, making sure that everything's covered as best we can. So hopefully we'll manage to keep the plate spinning and we'll be okay, but it's just a wee warning, just in case it's a bit more bumpy than usual. If you have any concerns, any problems, please contact your child's guidance teacher and we'll do all we can to sort out any problems. Now, the second item is a more personal announcement. This summer, I will retire as the head teacher of Auchmuty High School. I have been so lucky and privileged to have been the head teacher for the past 12 years, and this is a good time for me to step down and to allow somebody new to come in and to take the reins. Now, what I'll make sure over the coming months that I have left is that there is a smooth transition. Firstly, my number one objective will be to make sure that the school is as back to normal as possible following the pandemic by the time that we reach the summer holidays this year. And secondly, it's to work very closely with whoever my successor is when they are appointed and make sure that we have a very, very smooth transition in terms of headship. So that's just something which really needed to be shared and to be aware of, but it won't make any difference to the provision at the present time, but something to be aware of in the future. So thank you very much for listening to this update, and I hope you and your family have a very good weekend. Bye just now, and we'll see your children next week. Bye.